that there were more than 4 downs run, so they may have run 5 downs.
Instead of the game being over, it appears that the Redskins get the 5th down.
I think it's still the Bills' division. They went 13-3, and they lost to Kansas City in the conference championship, which, it showed their weakness was how do you shut down Josh Allen in the passing game, and how do you keep a high-powered offense like the Chiefs in check. And their defense had been really good all year. It was top 12, top 13. But at the end of the day, it's the Chiefs. It's hard to. It's going to be. They're the team for sure to beat in the AFC. When going into the offseason, they really needed some more help at receiver. What they did was they basically traded John Brown for Emmanuel Sanders. I think Sanders is going to be a more consistent option for them. He gives them somebody with
on the opposite side of Diggs,
and somebody with that short field experience, and who still has a lot of explosiveness in him. Let's not
say Emmanuel Sanders is a deep threat too. So don't take that out.
Absolutely not. He's still got a lot of good football left in him. And then they bring in Jacob Hollister from Seattle in tight end position. Great tight end. I was kind of surprised Seattle let him go, to be honest.
Seattle doesn't use tight ends. So it's basically, he was wasting away over there.
Yeah, because he's actually a better receiving tight end than he is a blocking tight end. They bring in Mitchell Trubisky to back up your favorite Jared Allen player, right?
To back up Jared Allen, yeah.
I'm messing with you. He always refers to Josh Allen as Jared Allen at least once when we talk about it.
Yes, almost every time we do this, and he has to cut it out, or he doesn't.
No, I'm leaving it in. I'm leaving it in from here on out.
Yeah, look, Mitchell Trubisky, class act, whatever you want to say about him, whatever. He's a backup QB. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's had a lot of chance to develop in the NFL, and it just hasn't happened.
He's a guy that if your quarterback goes down for a couple games, you're okay with bringing him in because he might be able to pull a win. It's not a definite loss for your team, So it's definitely a good move for them to have somebody to back up for Josh Allen. That seems to be what a lot of teams are doing now. They're going after the real good former. Not real good, but, the former starting quarterbacks that might still have a little bit starting talent on different teams to come in and be their backup.
I think the quarterback depth in the NFL is definitely getting broader.
Yeah, you saw this mostly with the Saints when they brought in Teddy Bridgewater, then down to Jameis Winston and things like that. So, hopefully maybe Trubisky gets a new lease on his career and he can break out of that backup role and get back out there somehow, but we'll see.
Yeah, worth looking at. In addition to that, they didn't make a lot of big moves in free agency, honestly, but their draft is where I think they really made a difference.
But where they were at, they didn't have to do that much to improve on their squad.
And I think for them, for me, it was the receiving core, the pass rush, and they need to settle in on that number one RB.
Yeah.
Because their 2-back system is good, but it needs one of the guys to really step up and be that guy. Because right now they have Zach Moss, who was a rookie last year before, and Devin Singletary, which, they're 2 good running backs. It's just neither one of them really eclipsed 700 yards, I think. I think combined they had around 1,100 yards total on the ground. And when your quarterback also has over 400 rushing yards.
Yeah,
you don't have a lot of room for that, but that's almost why you do need one of those guys to really step up and say, okay, here's our guy who's going to get 800 on the ground and another 500 in the air.
Right.
Doing the short game.
Definitely still make a run if necessary.
And that's what I think his strength is at this point in his career, but he's gotten to be a lot better passer. Yeah, which is where Lamar Jackson is kind of the opposite as far as if Allen was a 4 rush and 7 pass, then Lamar Jackson's flipped. He's the 7 rush, 4 pass. So each of those guys is going to have to improve, but that's 2 quarterbacks definitely to watch. I think they did great in their draft. They shored up their defensive and offensive lines. They brought in another wide receiver, safety, cornerback, and another lineman. So I mean, they brought in 5 guys from the draft to beef up their lines, and that is probably next to the wide receiver. I think their pass rush was another place they could strengthen, and I think they made out pretty well to me.
Yeah, I mean, I still have them at the head of the division. They're probably going to win it unless something major happens.
So what do you think their record's going to be?
Honestly, with this new 17 game schedule, I'm not sure on how it's going to work. You know, how it's actually going to play out for the teams. So I could say maybe like 12-5.
I feel like that extra game you could almost count as a loss for every team.
Yeah,
because I feel like there's going to be the injury factor and all this other stuff, and
especially depends on when your bye week is. So if you have an early bye week and you have
can't
a
believe
long
they didn't pull out the 2 bye weeks.
Then it would have been an 18 week season.
Yeah, but an 18-week season with 16 games.
With 17 games.
17 games, 2 bye weeks.
I mean, it's doable, but you're extending past finishing the season.
Yeah, you're talking about the Super Bowl in like late February instead of early February.
So I got him at like 12-5, somewhere around that
I think
area.
they're going to stay at the 13. I think they're going to go with 13-4. And I think they're going to actually win the AFC this year. I'm gonna have them beating the Chiefs in the
bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out.
Go big or go home.